Hey guys, welcome back to Armchair Conversations with Rob. Um, I had a quote earlier that talked about attitude and talked about great deeds. This one goes along with it, and it happens to be the next one in the series here in the Retro Notebook. Your attitude plus your aptitudes, mental, physical, and spiritual, always will determine your ultimate altitude. Um, the first person I heard say something to this effect was Zig Ziglar. Um, Amazing guy. I actually got to see him in one of the last few interviews he did before he passed on. But your attitude plus your aptitude, it always developed your altitude, he would say. And I do think that both of those things go hand in hand. I think you got to have a good attitude to learn. I think that people who absorb information do so because it's a joy to them and it's something that they want to do and they like to do. So I will say that attitude is important. Aptitude is a kind of a stick. It's a sticky situation for me because there are a lot of people that have aptitude but have a shitty attitude, and so therefore they don't always get what they're after. They don't always learn the thing they need to learn. They may be stubborn and refuse to grow and change. And so aptitude isn't just the only part. You got to have both because you got to want to learn. You can be capable because everybody's capable of learning. People, everybody, even people with mental difficulties, deficiencies are capable of learning. But if you don't wish to, there really isn't a whole lot anybody could do for you now, is there? So altitude goes next. So we got attitude, aptitude, altitude. So if we start with a good attitude, that gives us a chance to approach learning positively. And then altitude is based on what you learn, your knowledge. I listened to a guy lately that I'm liking. His name is Ty Lopez. Um, he's kind of like me, actually, just sort of turns on the camera and talks about whatever hits his fancy. He just happens to have some knowledge that I don't have. And so I've been enjoying listening to his talks. Basically, his take is that knowledge is the key to most everything, because with knowledge you can learn how to take certain actions and do certain things to get you where you need to go, and you can analyze your results, and you have your evidence procedures, which I've talked about at some points before. So again, to me, if you approach that knowledge, that aptitude ability with your attitude, I think your altitude will increase. I don't know that that's going to be true for everybody, because some people are stuck in situations and circumstances that are going to require maybe more of them than just a good attitude or the ability to learn to get them out of it. They may have to roll up their sleeves and do some serious work. But as a general rule, I believe that you start with a good attitude, it affects your ability to learn. And because it affects your ability to learn, you're going to have a certain altitude based on that. So, like, case in point, because I'm not good in certain subjects, I find that approaching them with a good attitude has helped me to learn more effectively. Now, I have not necessarily mastered said subjects, but I have improved. And my improving in those subjects is eventually going to affect my altitude, because there's things in those subjects that we need to get to where we're going to go. So if you suck at math, for example, or you suck at science, okay, or you suck at language skills, approaching that with a good attitude in the learning process, even though it's a struggle and difficult, may help you retain the information better. I think there might be some studies out there to prove that. And then retaining that information and being able to regurgitate, for lack of a better word, um, that knowledge can determine a better altitude for you. Being able to not only learn it and regurgitate it, but also apply it to various situations, or extrapolate it, which is a big thing for me, extrapolating knowledge to different situations to affect your outcome. Those things will all develop a better altitude for you. I think if you can come in with a good attitude and learn the things you need to learn, and then actually be able to apply them, you will get further toward the goals that you've set for yourself in life than people who don't do that. Because let's face it, you start out with a crappy attitude, you're not going to want to learn very much. If you don't learn very much and develop the knowledge and skills to apply what you need to get you forward, you're just not going to grow. You're not going to get forward, and that's the bottom line. So, rehash the quote: your attitude plus your aptitudes, mental, physical, and spiritual, always will determine your ultimate altitude. I tend to still believe that even today. So, if you like it, subscribe. If you don't like it, let me know that too. Again, do something. And thanks, guys, for sharing my armchair.